We're catching up today with Admirals defenseman Marc Del Gaizo, who happens to be, as we're talking, in Nashville for development camp. Marc, good to see you. How's everything going?
What's going on, guys? How are you?
We're doing great. What is it like in Nashville at the moment?
It's good. We're on the ice. We were on the ice Monday and Tuesday. Yesterday we had a day off. We went to did some community work, and we went to the MLS game that was here. That was pretty cool. And today we just were at the track this morning, and then just got back from the ice and going back to the rink later for a workout.
How much do you get out to other events? I'm assuming you're summer in New Jersey, right? Other than
Mhm.
being in Nashville at the moment. So do you get to Yankees games or anything like that? Or now that you went to UMass, are you a Red Sox guy? I mean, what's your deal? And do you go to other games, and can you allow yourself to be a fan even though you're a pro athlete?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big Yankees fan. I actually haven't had the opportunity to go to one yet. Me and my cousin, that's a huge Yankees fan. We haven't connected on a date yet to go, but yeah, for sure. I'm a huge Yankee fan, and they're an exciting team to watch right now. So
So did I anger you that I implied that you might be a Red Sox fan since you went to UMass?
yeah, I think the Red Sox might be. I don't. I hate them the most out of any team.
I can understand that. So when you go to a soccer game with a group of guys, I mean, do you know soccer? Do you know the game, or I mean, is it the experience? What was it? What was it like?
It was pretty cool. You know what? I don't really follow soccer very much. Like even like the Premier League and stuff like that. I know like some of the European guys are really big soccer fans, and um, it was really cool though. Like there were a lot of people there, and it was like I think it's a new stadium that they have there in Nashville. And when they scored like right before halftime before we left, and it was pretty electric. So
Yeah.
it was definitely a cool experience.
What has it been like for you now? You had a little bit of time at home before having to go to Nashville after the draft. What was the last month like after leaving Milwaukee?
Yeah. I mean, so after we left Milwaukee, I took a couple of weeks off, and then spending time with family and stuff like that down the shore. My parents have a shore house down there, so on the Jersey Shore. So was spend there down there pretty much almost every weekend. But you don't know, but the last 3 weeks has been training and working out and skating, getting ready for this camp, and it's been a great experience so far.
So that's really not a heck of a lot of time when you think about it. That's about maybe 3 weeks down before you try to get back into shape to do something to get in shape.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not really a guy that takes a ton of time off. But definitely want to rest and recover after a long season like that we just had. And just trying to get back in shape for this camp. And they know that we're all not going to be, in prime time shape, but definitely you want to make sure that you're in good enough shape to, perform in front of everyone.
The rest and recovery from the longest season I'm assuming you have played. I don't think, obviously, you've never been through what you did this past season, playing in all the games you did, and the length of time that you did. What did you learn along the way that you might not have known going into the season?
Um, yeah, that's a great question, Aaron. For sure. Like when in college, like you play 30 games at most, like 35.
And
You're
primarily
playing
Friday and Saturday.
exactly. So you get like a week to, kind of prepare your body and prepare your mind, and get a good workout and stuff like that, and practice before a game, set of games. But yeah, in pro, like we have a pretty tough schedule. It's a lot of games, but it's something that if you don't have your best game or you have a great game, you don't want to get too high or too low. So you kind of just want to stay in the moment and take it day by day.
I maintain that from the beginning of the season to the end, you were probably the most consistent, if not the best overall defenseman that the Admirals had this season. And that's no disrespect meant to anybody else, but you played with some composure that I think we don't necessarily see out of a rookie. Where did that come from? Is that from your dad is a legendary coach and player? I mean, does it come from being in a hockey family that you seemed? Did it come from starting in Chicago? Did it come from a national championship, all of these things adding up together, maybe.
Yeah, I think at UMass and in college, our coaches there really prepped us for trying to make us pros, and whether that's the preparation, getting to the rink early, stretching, rolling out, doing the post practice stuff, the post game stuff. They basically force you to get in a habit in doing that, and I like to think that preparation equals confidence. So when you're properly prepared, you can go out there and just play hockey and, be confident and do your thing.
Again, you had a handful of games a season ago in Chicago at the end of your college career, but this was basically your rookie season. What was it like? I mean, give me things you liked about it, things you liked about the pro game compared to the college game. How did you fill your time as a pro? Because that's something that a lot of people talk about. They don't have to go to study hall. They don't have to do all of these things anymore.
Yeah, it was great, but believe it or not, this year I actually graduated from college. I took 2 classes.
That's true. You
in
left.
fall.
You left after your junior year of eligibility, right?
Mm-hmm. I took 2. I finished all online. I got my diploma a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So I took 2 classes. Thank you. I took 2 classes in the fall, and then 2 more in the winter, and then 2 in the spring. So, outside of the rink, it wasn't too tough to finish up, but I'm really glad that I did it, and it's definitely a big achievement for me.
But yeah, no, that's great, and I can appreciate that because I did my degree online just a few years ago myself, and I'm curious how difficult it is. You get on a week-long road trip, and you got to hit the books. I mean, what is that like when you're in Austin, Texas, man? And there'd be nothing better than to go out on a Friday night or a Thursday night and enjoy 75, 80-degree weather.
Yeah, well, my professors were super flexible with due dates and stuff like that. I basically sent them like our schedule of the year, but basically everything was due before like Friday night, and of course, like sometimes we'd play almost every Friday night, but of course we'd play on Tuesday or Wednesday. So Mondays were usually my work day for school, and Sundays a lot. If we didn't have a game on Sunday, usually those are my work days. So it wasn't too bad. I take out a few hours of my week, which is not a lot of time considering how much time we have on our hands outside the rink. So it was an easy process.
The end of the season, the team goes in the playoffs, and I know you weren't around here, but for people who were in the office, to win that first round series against Manitoba, that meant so much. That was the first Admirals series win since 2011. That series, and then finishing against Chicago. I mean, what was that like? I don't know if heartbreaking is the word, but I know you guys really felt like you had something going there at the end. And when you get that win in Game 3 against Chicago, maybe you think you can turn this thing around.
Yeah, for sure. It was tough. I think we had a great group of guys, and we had a lot of talent, and you're right, that playoff series was against Manitoba was huge. And going to Chicago, we were pretty confident, but at the end of the day, they were the Calder Cup champions, so we lost to a pretty good team. But yeah, I mean, definitely not ideal, but super proud of the year we had. Considering where we were in the beginning of the year, I think we definitely overachieved on the season with our group, and left it all on the table.
Is there any solace in the fact that Chicago won the championship and that's the team you lost out to, or does that matter? It just basically, and forgive the term, screw Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of built up a little bit of a rivalry. I'm not sure if there was a rivalry before this year, but
oh yes,
yeah, but playing with those guys and having
you're right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you bring up a good point that you knew all of these guys basically.
Yeah, kind of like having like a meshed group of guys that we had last year, and this year we were up in Milwaukee and they were in Chicago. So definitely a bit of a rivalry there. So it was fun to play against those guys.
So the season wraps up. Did you get out of here right away, or did you guys have a couple of days to unwind together? Because hockey teams change all the time, and the Admirals will certainly be a different team next year than they were in the 21-22 season.
Yeah, we hung around for a couple days there, and we were fortunate enough that Harris got us tickets to the Eric Church concert at American Family Field, so that was pretty cool. And just kind of the last, I guess memory with the guys was that concert, and it was a great time, and we all parted our ways after that.
How many development camps have you been to now in Nashville?
This is actually only my second.
Okay, so last year and the year before then, or the last year and
Yep.
this year.
Uh-huh.
So people may not realize, but when you're drafted, that doesn't automatically make you go, right?
Well, after I was drafted, I had a surgery, so I couldn't go that year.
Okay.
And then the year after that was the COVID year. So we did like a online virtual development camp. But that I don't really count that as a development camp. But last year we were fully here, and this year it's good to be back again.
Real quick, what is a schedule like? I know we had mentioned before going on the video here that you guys are on the track at 7 a.m., right?
Yeah, this morning we were on the track pretty early, and then we had a little bit of a snack and breakfast, and then all the defensemen went on the ice and all the forwards went on the ice, and we just finished up with lunch and back at the hotel now, and then going back to the rink for a workout, and then I think there's a seminar later today, guest speaker. So there's been a lot of guest speakers here, and it's really cool to soak in all their information and stuff like that, and just basically be a sponge while you're here. Just try to take in as much information as you can, and try and use that moving forward.
So fitness is important, and you're going to get that, but the most important thing is getting to know your peers, getting to know your coaches, getting to know the staff, getting to know the lay of the land, right?
Absolutely, yeah. This year I feel like I'm much more comfortable here, just knowing some guys from last year, and it's always great to meet new players that were just drafted I guess a week ago, and I'm familiar with all the coaches and the staff now. The staff in Milwaukee, Carl, Coach Rallo, and Coach Ford are all here, so that's been good. And just reconnecting with them, and speaking with them, and it's great just being used to everything and knowing how everything works now.
I asked Cole Schneider this last week. I'm going to ask you as we wind this down. Free agency going on now. Are you a guy who calls friends or tells your coaches or staff, hey, I know a guy who might be good for us, or somebody, hey, I'm looking for a place to play. Hey, you should come play for us because we got this, we got all of this stuff. Do you get into the recruitment at all in free agency?
No, I'm just I'm a young
above your pay grade
player. Yeah, that's way above me. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't really have a bunch of friends that are free agents, other than I saw Jeremy just signed with Buffalo, and there's a few other guys, but yeah, I mean, that's definitely above my pay grade.
Everybody's spoken for. So what's the rest of the summer going to be like for you before you head down to official training camp?
Just obviously more skating and training, and make sure I'm ready for that, and go down the shore on the weekends, spend time with family and friends at the beach, and do some fishing, a little bit of golf. So definitely enjoy the summertime. Can't just all be hockey. Gotta have a little bit of a balance.
There needs to be a release. I'm gonna, as we finish here, we're gonna finish with this one. Who do you skate with? Drop some names here. Do you skate with a bunch of pros? Who do you skate with out there?
I skate with a lot of like college guys. There's a few pros around here, but mostly college guys, and guys trying to make it to the NHL. So not a glorious, I don't skate with a bunch of glorious guys.
There's nothing wrong with that. Good to see you, man. Hope everything goes well in Nashville the rest of your summer, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, Simsy. Appreciate it.
That is Marc Del Gaizo.